You two seem pretty close.
He's my best friend. Yes. We're always together, and it's always like this. Right?
Do you like being close to your mom?
Yeah.
How do you feel when you're close to your mom?
So good.
Do you love Ethan?
Yeah.
What do you love most about him?
Turning on my way.
Do you like that I turn on the Wii for you? Is that like you don't love me for anything else?
Playing Call of Duty.
Playing Call of Duty, you love me for that? Anything else?
No.
No? You just love me for that?
Yeah.
What's the best thing about having brothers, Noah?
So nice.
It's so nice. We get to play fight. You get to do all. You get to get aggressive with each other. You get to play video games. You get to go outside. Right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, right?
What is it like to be the youngest sibling?
It's good.
It's very good for you.
Why is it good?
Because I got cereal.
You get what?
Cereal to what?
You get
Cereal.
spoiled a lot. Yes, that is true.
Tell me about your sister.
I was living here in Homewood Farm.
I was living here and then what?
Homewood Farm.
And then I moved out.
She got older and moved out? Do you have to tell people what Noah says sometimes?
Yes.
What is that like?
Sometimes I can't even understand. We have to ask him to repeat, but it's easy.
Do you love your mom?
Yeah.
How much do you love her?
Someone.
Why do you love her so much?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Can those open-ended questions sometimes be more difficult for Noah to process?
At times, yes, they are. So just, I kind of coach him through it and ask him more questions to see how he's feeling. So if certain questions, it can't just be like, how are you feeling? He'll say, okay. You know, it's just like we go a little deeper to get his real feelings. And then he opens up.
So really, him saying, I don't know, is feedback to me that I need to ask the question in a different way.
Yes.
Noah, do you love your mom a little bit or a lot?
A lot.
A lot or a gigantic amount? A gigantic amount or to the moon? That's a lot of love. Who is this?
My dad.
What's your dad like?
You don't know? You don't know me?
I know you.
Funny.
Yeah. Funny.
Loving.
Loving.
Why am I telling you? You're supposed to be telling.
Loving.
What are Noah's diagnoses?
So when I was 20 weeks pregnant, he was diagnosed with hypoplastic left heart. And at that time, I was told also he had a club foot. They didn't know what else to expect. But those were the two diagnoses at that time. When he was 2 years old, Kabuki syndrome was his other diagnosis at that time. When he was born also, they had told me he had a double aortic arch that needed repair as well.
How does Kabuki syndrome impact Noah?
He's limited in the things that he can do. You know, he was born because of the Kabuki with a severe heart defect that required a heart transplant. He has low muscle tone, so he's not able to do everything that your normal kid at this age could do. Like ride a bike and play sports, which he loves. He would love to play sports, but right now he just can't do any of those things.
Noah just tries to be like he's 20 years old himself, so he just likes to, do everything I do. He likes to fit in. He likes to do, everything that I try to do. He tries to just mirror me. So, yeah.
Do you want to be like Jaden?
Yeah.
Why would you like to be like your older brother?
Because I'm him play NBA 2K, and I want to play too.
And you like to play basketball outside too. Sometimes you like to play football every here and there.
Noah had a full heart transplant.
Yes,
How old was he?
10. And just a few months ago. It was, just waiting, sitting there waiting to hear from the doctors how things are going. Sometimes you see it on TV and you don't make that connection until you actually sitting there. And it's not a good feeling. It's a very nerve-wracking feeling for a very long time. Not easy to deal with, but we dealt with it. We got through it, and here we are.
What is it like for you and the family when Noah has to have a heart surgery?
Very difficult. Very difficult. Very emotional. Sad to be apart. Sad to see him going through so much. That's extremely hard.
What was it like to have a heart transplant, Noah?
I don't know.
How was it?
Bad.
What was bad about it?
Like, I was missing my family all day long.
Before he had his heart transplant, he was there for, I think, 3 or 4 months, and then to recover, and he was just getting really homesick. He just wanted to come home. He missed everybody. He was there the whole summer.
We're very silly together, and playful together. And I just feel for such a long time since day one that he was born, I've never left his sight. So from hospitals, I slept with him every day, even if it wasn't a chair, it didn't matter. We were always together. So
Even when he's at the hospital for 3 months, you're there?
I never leave, ever. I can't,
What's your favorite memory with Jaden?
I'm running myself over the hospital.
When I slept over the hospital with him.
Why was that important to you, Noah?
Because we can play the Wii and walk around.
We played the Wii and we walked around. When he didn't have too much strength in his legs, we'll take him on the wheelchair and we'll walk around the hospital, just to get him out of the room. He would just be laying down all day.
Does Noah have a lot of energy?
Now he does, yeah. He doesn't sit still.
You say now because after the heart transplant?
Well, prior to the heart transplant, he was just not moving. He was just sitting, barely just holding onto his iPad and watching TV or videos on his iPad. But this new heart seems to be really working for him.
Being low tone is very, very hard for him. Noah started walking when he was 4 years old. And many times we were told that possibly he would never walk. And it was very hard for him. Being able to lift his head was a problem. So there was so much that he couldn't do. And just laying there, in a bed or just, watching the kids play, and he couldn't do anything. So that was very difficult on him.
What's it like to have a brother with a rare disability?
It's it was hard at first, but he does OT and PT, and he gets stronger, and he's been able to go up the stairs by himself now, and he needs some help with some things, but he's improving a lot.
Noah, are you getting stronger?
Yes.
How are you getting stronger?
By walking and walking out.
Working out?
Walking.
Who do you work with? What's his name?
Mario.
Mario, yeah. And what does he do with you?
Welcome. Welcome. What does the game called?
Well, you cut putty. You play with the putty.
No,
What? Where you roll on the map?
no. Welcome. When we pour and
Oh,
then
you play Zumba?
we play some pour.
All that stuff makes you stronger?
Yeah.
How strong are you now?
So soft.
Could you lift the whole building?
No.
Could you fly to the moon?
No.
Can you do a lot of cool stuff though?
Yes.
What kind of stuff can you do now?
What does doing all that help you with?
We're going up this year.
How would you describe Kabuki syndrome to somebody who's never heard of it?
Well, at first I didn't know much about it when I was younger, and then I did this research paper because in my science class in college we had to go ahead and do something about science, and I'm not the best at it, so I was like, you know what, this is a opportunity to learn a little bit. So I said I'm gonna take Noah's syndrome and his heart difficulties as well, and I'm gonna incorporate it into my paper. And I learned so much about it, and I learned that Kabuki syndrome stems from Japanese theater. Their eyes, all their facial structures and stuff like that. It stems from all of that, and that's why they call it Kabuki syndrome, because they were Kabuki dancers in Japan, and like they had like the makeup and the big eyes and all that. So, I just try to learn as much as possible, to better aid Noah.
What is it like to have Kabuki syndrome?
It's nice.
Do you like being who you are?
Yes.
What's the best thing about being you?
I can play on my seat.
You can play your Switch? That's the best thing about you?
What are all the ways that Kabuki syndrome impacts Noah?
Noah, okay. Noah has a high palate, so he would gag a lot, and food was very difficult for him. Feeding disorder, he would not eat anything and everything. He lost all sensation from sucking, so he didn't know how to hold a bottle. He had very low muscle tone, so he could not even hold his head. Learning disabilities that's another one. Speech. It was a number of things, so many things.
Tell me about his learning disabilities.
So Noah right now is so cute. He's in a special ed class with about 4 students. He has the best memory ever. So he actually reminds me of many things that I can't remember. But when he doesn't care for something, he's not gonna give him his time. So he'll find things to be boring a lot of the times.
There were so many times where we were given bad news, bad news, bad news, this and negative and this and that. And we didn't let any of that defeat us. We never came home and beat ourselves up over it and cry and lock ourselves up in a room and not this family.
Do you ever quit, Noah?
No.
What's the best thing about your mom?
That time on my wing.
Oh, really? Did I turn on your Wii? That's the best thing. Okay, I'll take it.
Does your mom make you feel safe?
Yes.
Do you know everything will be all right when she's around?
Yes.
Does your mom ever make you mad?
No.
Does she ever make you sad?
No.
Does she ever make you happy?
Yes.
Does she ever make you excited?
Yes.
Does she ever make you feel loved?
Yes.
Does she ever make you feel angry?
No.
Even when I take your iPad?
No.
No? Okay. Okay.
I mean, yes.
Okay, yes, that
Does Noah smile a lot?
Yeah, he does. He's just a silly, silly little guy, which is okay. I'd rather have a silly goofball than a kid that's not happy.